Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Martin. I am your host. It's Thursday night. Let's chat. We're early. Well, me and Ed are actually on time. Everyone else is late. Don't know where they all are. Hey ho. We'll see as we're going along. Good evening, Ed. How the devil are you? Good to have you back, mate. Properly.
Big up, everybody. You guys know it's Thursday, so I'm at the gym, but it's glad to see everybody in the building. We have a lot to dig into. Asian tour coming up, and I know some people are excited about some transfer news going on. So let's dig into it.
Well, where do you want to start? Because before the lads get in, should we just do some of the news? Before we go into the actual pre-season part. Because I'm actually really excited with that. So, where do you want to start? You want to start with Mamouche, Savinio, RODRI, BOUADDI, Rulli. Where do you want to go?
Let's start with the goalkeeper.
Oh yeah,
I seen a lot of mixed bags feelings about the goalkeeper since we had him initially. We sent him out and things like that.
Hey Briggsy, you're a star, mate. Yes, please be respectful to each other. That is amazing. And don't forget, 3-strike rule in order. Make sure it's a laugh. No abuse to anyone on the panel or anyone in the chat. Or you go in and get a warning, then you get a timeout, then you get banned. The way it goes. Yeah, Rulli. some people did not realise that he has been a former Manchester City player before. Now, a long time ago, God, I felt really old, you know. I felt really old when I talked about when we were talking about this. Guillermo Roller is an Argentinian goalkeeper. He's now 34 years old. Do you know when Manchester City bought him or had him under their books?
When he was like 16, right?
When he was a teenager. He was a young lad. He was a young whippersnapper. 2016-17 is when we had him. We bought him from, was it Real Sociedad? Where was it? Let me just double check where we actually bought him from.
I thought we sent him to Real Sociedad.
Oh, no, it was Maldonado where we actually got him, CD Maldonado. We bought him for around about 5 million quid, something like that. And obviously he's coming back as our number 2, it looks like, at the moment. Marseille are in a little bit of a financial predicament at the moment. So, yeah, how do you feel about that 34-year-old goalkeeper coming back?
I mean, I don't have an issue with it personally for me. I think it also does put a pathway for our young goalkeepers to come back into that second role after they develop some time and get experience. So I think it is a good age for a backup goalkeeper when we do have a lot of young goalkeepers who are out there trying to prove themselves.
Yeah. By the way, good evening to Fraser, to Thierry, to Adam, to Briggs, to James. By the way, lovely comments and thank you. We do try and support Aeon, Pear, Tone, Bob, and a few others that are all in the chat. Good evening to all of you. You are all superstars. Hope you're feeling well. I mean, for me, I think it makes sense. My only concern is he will take a foreign spot. And you know what the old topic's going to come out? And Nobbins was joking about it on Twitter the other day. I think it was yesterday. Talking about how, we're back into the homegrown quota again, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I just find it mad that we're buying a foreign goalkeeper. I mean, yeah, apparently he's very good with his kicking, not very good with his shot stopping. So I don't know. Yes, there's a lot going on. We are going to get to the RODRI stuff. Don't worry. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm actually okay with Roller. I do think it may mean a homegrown player will have to stay, possibly. You know, maybe it's a Rico. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's a Rico Lewis that has to stay in the end. We don't have to, we don't let him go. I don't know. Or the midfielder or someone else we look at has to be a homegrown player as well. Because when you look at the wingers and when you look at the right backs, everyone's talking another foreign player as well.
Yeah, but it just depends on who comes in those slots too, right? I think the winger depends on who we bring in at winger. I know some people are saying that the young guy from PSG. It might be, we don't know who they bring in on the wing, if that's a homegrown player or not. Or if another midfielder, RODRI does go, if we bring in another midfielder, that's homegrown too. So there's a lot of variables to fall out to play before I start worrying about the quota and some things just yet.
Yeah. Big up, Nick. Big up, bro. BS Martin. What's surprise Simon for the summer? I don't know at the moment, mate. I'm very good, guys. I don't know where we're at because I'm very confused at where we're at the moment. I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit surprised they've gone for a foreign backup goalie. That has surprised me a little bit. Not the age, because I actually thought it would be an older. I thought it would be a very young keeper, like an 18, 19-year-old, or it would be a older goalkeeper. So they're not sort of demanding that number 1 spot. Don't know about that, Dylan. Don't know, mate. Ian Martin, by the way, we're going to watch Avengers Doomsday when it comes out. Yes, so am I, mate. Can't wait for it.
But Warren, what older goalkeeper homegrown do you feel like you would have been good with?
For me, for a season, even if formidable, people are going to laugh at me here. I'd have done Ramsdale just for a season loan.
Ramsdale.
I'd have done Ramsdale for a season loan, and then from next season onwards, 27-28, you run with Pierce Charles.
But isn't he on like $200K a week?
Who?
Ramsdale.
I mean, I suppose so, but you're only looking at a loan, aren't you? You're not buying him.
Yeah, but I'm sure the club he's asking at, I think they're going to want you to pay all of that.
Well, I think he's on 150. I think he's on 150 a week. I'm only looking at a very short-term option, mate. Because my idea is Pierce Charles becomes your ultimate backup for next season. Because people forget, we put up to 10 million quid into Pierce Charles.
No, yeah, I think we're going to bring a young goalkeeper back, but I don't know if they're maybe looking at a year. I think they're going to give him 2 years. I think maybe 2 years, then bring him back. I don't know about next year.
Yeah, CONCACAF have rejected Infantino's plan, but that's Infantino in the mud. I feel we should have gotten a younger keeper. I think you're just asking for problems, though. You're asking for the same problem you just had with Donnarumma. Right, there's Spartacus. I'd start Roller. Of course you would. Anyone but Donnarumma for you, mate. Real Madrid think we have benefits. Right, let's get into it. The Rodri stuff, mate. Apparently, Real Madrid think they're getting him for cheap.
I mean, I think I saw some come out today. I think we want 75, 80 million euros. I know some people might not like that price, but we're not accepting 50 million euros for Rodri. I don't know.
Yeah, it is an insult. I mean, how much would you sell for? Because, by the way, this has been hot topic in our group chat. Hot topic in our group chat.
I mean, for me, I would be fine with 80 plus million euros. That's what I would be fine with. 80 plus.
I'll come back to that, Ronald. 85. I mean, I'm probably going to say between 75 and 80 million quid.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm doing pounds there, not.
75, 80 million. I'm fine with that.
I mean, some people have seen some. I'm listening, by the way. These are just opinions. No one's saying we know anything or anything else. I would say 75, 80 is just my opinion. Yes, I think he is, Link. Big up City Vibes. I'm just homegrown is fine for the Premier League. Yeah, but it's not for Europe, mate. Europe is more of a concern because in the Premier League, it's not a set rule on homegrown. You can lower your squad size and have less homegrown. UEFA is the absolute daddy of this homegrown rule. You've got to be careful with that because age doesn't play a factor in the UEFA homegrown or academy trained rule. Vinny, future Man City legend. We're really not going to do Vinny Junior stuff, are we? Seriously. I will happy once we sign RODRI replacement and when if Savioli's right. I mean, what time scale would you put on this RODRI stuff?
For me, it would probably be. I know we're coming towards the end of July. I would say by first or second week in August, you have to know to give you time to have the guy lined up, to get the guy you want. I think by second week of August, you have to know. This cannot be drag on to the last day of the window. So that's the timetable I put on. Okay. So that's what, 2 weeks? I'll give them 2 weeks.
I'm just going to send an email to someone, see if they want to join. Just bear with me. Just talk to the chat a minute, Ed, while I just send this.
No, because I mean, you still have to find. I mean, I think you would have your replacement lined up, but you still want to give yourself time if you got to negotiate a price and things like that. You don't want to give yourself too late in time where you handcuff yourself or you have to pay an astronomical fee for the player, or that team needs to find their own replacement for that player too. So I will give them a week or two because I think you have to cover yourself as well. And if they really want RODRI, they'll speed it up. And this is what happens when you wait until the end of the World Cup and you're trying to get a big name player. So don't fuck around.
Yeah. I mean, for RODRI, I'll be honest, I think 75, 80. I know some people are screaming at me now. We need to be getting it 100 million, everything else. He's got a year left in his deal. He's got a year left. And I know
people say the Hazard and everything like that, but you're going to pay more. I know RODRI is one of the best players in the world, but you're going to pay more for an attacking player. We already know this. You're going to pay more for an attacking player than maybe other positions. But I think if you get 80 million on the last year of his deal, I think that's nothing you can't walk away happy with.
I mean, well, here's a question. Are people willing to let him go for free? Are people willing to let him go for free?
Well, some people are saying it's better to keep him to tutor BOUADDI and to tutor Anderson. That's worth it.
Okay.
So depends on how much you value that year of him being there for BOUADDI and Anderson. What value do you place on that?
The thing is, RODRI wants to go.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it'll be a very uncomfortable year for RODRI if he stays. Because this is not the same as a KDB or anything else where people are going to want to go out. I will come to your questions in a minute, don't worry. You can't do exchanges, mate. Exchanges are very hard to do with SCR. There's rules in place. You've got to make sure the valuation's correct and everything. Exchanges are very hard. And exchanging Rod for Vinny makes no sense because we need a midfielder, not a winger. We are looking at wingers, but at the moment, Sabinho's not gone anywhere. And I know everyone keeps saying Sabinho's going. Yes, he may want to leave, but Tottenham are also looking, and Aston Villa are now looking at Omar Mamouche. RODRI should cost more than Bruno G, we're being honest. Possibly, yeah, I hear that, but you can only sell if people are willing to buy. How comes no info about Ruller? Let me guess, things change. What do you mean? Because it's come. I'm only telling you that came from Fabrizio, mate, and came from somebody else about Ruller. So stop trying to rage bait because you'll just get timed out if you start being a dick. I'd set the price at 100. I wouldn't probably accept 80 tonight. Yeah. Oh, I would probably accept it if I'd say just get a squad settled. I think it has to be done ASAP. Yes, and Day is of interest to Al Hilal as well. Nico G's the next Busquets, play him. Needs doing in this week now. I think we need to know. Saeed's fine. He's a little bit shook up from what I hear. I don't speak to him personally, but I speak to people who know him, and he's a bit shook and he's a bit shocked. Bruno Guimaraes, I don't think City are getting involved in that. I think he's going to Arsenal. I don't think City are getting involved in Bruno G, which may be a bit surprising, but we've not actually moved for Bruno G for about 18 months, 2 years now. There's been no full interest in it. People don't understand RODRI doesn't want to stay because this season, yeah, that's the problem. I don't think he wants to run down his year. Yeah, Hazard was 130. Anyone buying Bruno G? Yes, Arsenal. Brother Kane left for 100 with a year left. Mount joined United with a year left for 65. But what do we do if Real Madrid don't offer more money?
I mean, that's the thing, though, Martin. I think the club will just keep him, and whatever happens with the fan base and how they treat them, that's part of being a professional. I know we might not like it, but that's part of being in the trade, and you have to know that as a player when you ask a request and it falls through. The club has to meet your valuation. That's how the business works. And if they don't meet it, we'll just keep them for a year and we'll ask for him to be a professional the best way he can.
I'm not sure. I think RODRI does want to go. I don't think he wants to stay.
Unfortunately, if Real Madrid doesn't meet his valuation, as much as he wants to go, we said that with many other players. You know, if a club comes in and they don't meet a valuation, you're staying.
I mean, Caddy says who says he puts his all in while he's here.
I mean, that's also why you have Anderson, you have BOUADDI. I don't think he'll throw his toys at the pram. I don't think he'll do that.
It may not be a double swoop, Cade. Yeah, I get it. And like I said, again, I'm hearing a lot of frustration, a lot of things. I'm a bit different. I'm not. Some people are doing this treat RODRI a lesson, treat Real Madrid a lesson. I don't know. I'm caught in two minds because he doesn't want to be here. By the way, 50 million is an insult. Totally agree with that. I'm not saying selling for 50, but I think people asking for 100 plus, I think you're living in Delulu land.
Yeah, you're not going to get 100 plus. You're not going to get 100 plus.
I don't think that's going to happen. Sadly. Right. Where do you want to move to next?
Move to Marmoush.
Right. Omar Marmoush. There is interest yet from Tottenham and Villa. Because here's the funny thing about the Nico G is not the next Busquets. Here's the thing regarding Omar Marmoush is I don't see Tottenham going for both Omar Marmoush or Sabinho.
So okay, you don't see them doing it.
No.
Why is that?
Do you think they're going to spend 130 million on two players?
Oh, you're saying they're not going to get both of them? They might get one of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would say that's probably more realistic because of how much money they spent already, and also some of the wages, both of their wages. So I can see them getting one of them.
Maybe Wharton comes back on the agenda. Like I said, at the moment they're not doing anything. BOUADDI is the one that they're sorting out at the moment. Imagine having Bruno G and Nico G as the midfield. So what are you doing with Anderson and BOUADDI, mate? I think people are forgetting that we're on the verge of we've bought one midfielder and we're on the verge of buying another one. BOUADDI and Anderson aren't bench sitting either. Good evening, Rich. Nice for you to join us.
Good evening. Very early morning for me.
I mean, Rich, because you're saying, oh, let me guess it's changed again. You know what you're doing, Spicy Potato. Come on. You know what you're doing. Saeed Mangan was a twat. He was. Apparently it was AI as well. People are saying it was AI, which is why we are going to have to look at. The problem is what people go, oh, it's been soft and everything else. You can shut your channel down with shit like that. That can shut your channel down. Big up, Ethan. And people got to realize that it's not that simple. You can't be putting silly clips on like that because the guy didn't even speak. So that's why they think it was an AI person. So, yeah, we may have to look at phoning shows because it takes one idiot and your whole channel shut down. And there's a thing going on in YouTube world at the minute where people think they're being clever.
Oh, it's why there's always been time delays on the radio. You never catch Radio Manchester back in the day, Piccadilly or anyone.
I know, but the thing is with the time delay, you can't edit it, Rich. You've just got to end the stream.
Yeah, true.
You just have to end the stream immediately.
Well, we obviously need to get lots more money, and then we can have a producer who's sitting there, in the background, controlling the show.
Yes, BOUADDI deal is virtually done. Everything with the players agreed. We're just sorting some stuff out. We're sorting the fine details of the fee out with Lil at the moment. Yeah. Is it true RODRI deal coming up? Rich, where are you at with this RODRI stuff? Because I know you've been waxing Liverpool all week. And
no,
yes, we know 50 million's a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, I hope it's not going to disappoint a lot of City fans, because I've seen a lot of people online saying £100 million. We're not going to get that. Firstly, because it looks like RODRI's actually prepared to make a quite sizable financial sacrifice to, go home, which means that he's, in effect contributing to the transfer fee that is paid for him. And secondly, I know you were probably more in this camp, but some of the other people on this channel, where we have to stand firm for 100 million. Ultimately, if he's truly made up his mind, and it's not just about it's not like an Isaac situation. Isaac may have been a bit unhappy with the club, but he was under 5 years of contract. It was all about the money, getting higher wages, and he said a lot of things himself and behaved quite badly. I think really at the moment, RODRI, apart from making it clear in his interview in Spain 6-8 months ago, and even that was a couple of sentences, RODRI hasn't badmouthed the club. He hasn't gone on strike. He hasn't actually done anything. We've just seen a few City proxies and a lot of Real Madrid proxies putting pressure on the deal in the media. So I think a deal will be done. I would think City will be aiming at what we paid for him, which was about 67 million. I think if we can get more than what we paid for him, that will be seen as a very good fee. I think we'd have got, if he hadn't had a brilliant World Cup, we'd have been looking at less than half of that. Fair, because if he hadn't had a brilliant World Cup,
Rich, we're just doing some light transfer stuff, and then we'll move on to the pre-season stuff and all that when the rest of the panel get here.
So I think a deal will get done. I don't know, 70 million euros, something like that. Maybe 75. I think City will aim at getting more than we paid for him, and if we do, ultimately we've got our money back on a player that's given us the best of everything, 7 years, and we don't. He's phenomenal at the World Cup, but we don't know how he'd have held up in the Premier League. So, over another season, and I think we move on, and because I don't want a player we keep at the club deeply unhappy. And I don't want, a player who's signed for Real Madrid playing for us for 5 months, because he signs on Jan 1. So I think we just need to be realistic. And I think, it effectively almost pays for BOUADDI. I think we'll sign another midfielder. But who that'll be, I think we might need one more. And then we move onwards and upwards, and it probably puts us back a little bit for next season, not having him. But in the long run, he was going to be replaced in the next couple of seasons anyway. We get that replacement in earlier, and we probably get them up to speed earlier than they would have been.
Yeah, possible. Yeah, no one brings. I'll speak to you in a bit, mate. Yeah, I don't know. I think the RODRI thing, not everyone's going to be happy on it.
Yeah, but
I don't agree with all the abuse he's getting. He's a legend for me, and he's done excellent. He's won everything he has. He wants to go home, and the ball's in Real Madrid's court. I just don't like the idea of City getting £0. I know it's football. I know it's not our money, etc. But the trouble is, every player we're looking at the minute is 100 million. Every player. We have to get money in for somebody at some point. Not saying take anything, but we do need to bring some money in.
Yeah, and I think I think one thing that's happened in football is midfielders are the new strikers. I think a few years back, everyone paid the big money for strikers and forwards, and I think people have actually realised the most important position in your team is centre midfield, and I think centre midfielders are starting to be the heart of the transfer market in the way that perhaps forwards were a few years ago.
Yeah. I don't know. This window is very weird at the minute. Prices are astronomical. People are just throwing all sorts around. Yeah, and listen, I understand people saying Hazard went for this and Kane went for that. There is only Real Madrid he'll go to. Bad luck things. So Real Madrid and have the power. He's going to go to Real Madrid, whether it's now or for free.
Yeah. With the Kane deal, and I've got a bit of insight on the Kane deal from someone on why the price was high on that. Fundamentally, Harry Kane was happy. His plan had been to go on a free to a Premier League team, possibly City, possibly United, at the end of his deal. So he had deals, certainly in the works. Financially brilliant for him. He would have gone and got his Premier League records. So Bayern were paying to persuade him to come. Tottenham desperately wanted him not to go to a Premier League team on a free, because that would have been a disaster for them. So Bayern paid more than perhaps was ideal. They also had a desperate need. Like, we paid for Gay, we could have got on a free, because we desperately needed Gay when we needed him, and it was worth 20-30 million more for the fee and him at that time. And I think Bayern, once Lewandowski had gone, had a similar need. And to be fair, they've got that. It's been a good deal for Bayern. I'm slightly more dubious about Real Madrid and RODRI, purely because I just don't see him. I don't see Real Madrid playing RODRI football, and I don't see Real Madrid being a team with a RODRI mentality. And I don't see Jose Mourinho being a coach who's done anything in a decade. So for me, I think it's a big risk for RODRI, but so I suspect it's even going beyond footballing reasons. I think he really wants to go home. Yeah. And if he's apart from his wife, and they're young, they've not been together that long, I can kind of understand why, for his life, getting back to Madrid is incredibly important to him.
I don't think we will. We may do, but at the moment, I don't. It looks like it's all Arsenal, which looks bad. By the rumours today, it's part of the reason Eddie Howe's left, because the Bruno deal is happening. I think Bruno will go to Arsenal, and I'm not sure if City are going to go in for him. They're going to have to move very damn quick, and I mean, like, in the next few days, move quick. And from what I'm hearing at the Newcastle end, because I do have people who hear things at Newcastle, City are in for him.
Rich, what timetable would you give this RODRI deal for you?
I mean, the problem is, if Real Madrid know he's desperately wants to go there, they're probably in a bit less of a. They know he can't train at the moment. He's out for a couple of weeks on holiday. So, if you're in Real Madrid shoes, you wouldn't be pushing it to the detriment of the fee you pay. I mean, he becomes, if everything's back to, it becomes a bit of an annoyance to City if we know he's going and he's back in, after the tour. So I'm sure City would love to have it wrapped up, so if the deal goes through, he comes back to say goodbye, but, they're not spending their time with him in training, etc. He's gone. And you'd think Real Madrid would, it makes sense that if he's a totally different player to what they've got, Real Madrid, you think, would want him pretty much when he's back to start training. So I don't know, a couple of weeks. When's he due back? 2 weeks after the rehabilitation and the holiday from the World Cup. So probably nothing happens for a week, and then it speeds up in the week after that, I would guess.
If we're going to spend 85 on BOUADDI, why don't we have 20 million? Because they want BOUADDI, mate.
I think because
the person they want.
I think because they see BOUADDI with a ceiling. Yeah. BOUADDI's seen as being potentially one of the best midfielders in the world, and they're buying a very young player at high risk, whereas I think Wharton is a lot more established. Probably ceiling isn't as high, but you know he's achieved, you know, the level he's achieved.
So you're saying he's desperate to go. Listen, I think people are finding this a bit hard to realise that he, just like Rich says, just wants to go home. And he has won everything he can at City. People are taking this very personally. Very personally. And like I said, I think people have just got to chill out a little bit on it.
Yeah, I think it's more to do with Real Madrid than how they do RODRI, in my opinion.
Yeah. But
someone said, this was Barcelona, no one would have an issue with it.
Yeah. And I think, you know, the one thing a lot of people have said, Madrid tapping up the player, you know, offsetting the player, etc. I actually think in this one, it's as much about Rodri's side tapping up Madrid as the other way around. I don't think Rodri's some naive 24-year-old who's desperate for money. He's quite clearly going to sign for less money than he could at City. He's not, you know, he's not someone who likes the media attention, who's flashy or anything. So, you know, I've got distaste with it being Madrid because of the way they treated him. But I think it's naive to think, oh, yeah, Rodri was really happy. He spent 2 years injured. He's probably spent a hell of a lot of time sitting in front of TVs and things, being driven insane by, you know, for the time after his injury, barely been able to do any rehabilitation. And he's probably done a lot of thinking. And, you know, when you get a really serious injury or people get really sick, they often have a real think and they change their priorities. So, you know, I think it's fairly natural.
I mean, I don't know. Good evening, Sparkers.
Good evening. He's not getting less money, by the way. He's getting a little bit more money, if not the same thing. Because apparently the deal is 15 million euros net a year, which makes it a little bit above 400k a week, which is more than which is a little bit more than what we're willing to give him.
I mean, people ain't gonna like this. We're not Real Madrid.
Yeah, we're not as big as Madrid. That's fine.
Certainly not for someone from Madrid.
No.
We're not bigger than Madrid for anybody, right? Like that's a fortunate situation.
But you know, I honestly don't think with Rodri it's, you know, about that. It's about playing in Spain, playing in his home country, winning his home league, playing for a club in the town he grew up in, being amongst his family and his friends, being with his partner. I mean, or being with his wife. You know, it's more than that. And he has won everything in English football. He's won the treble for City. He's won the four-peat. There's nothing he can do at City that, you know, 5 Premier Leagues, 6 Premier Leagues, 7 Premier Leagues, it doesn't make that much difference to your CV. If he goes and wins in La Liga a couple of times, or, you know, wins another European trophy with Madrid, that's it. It makes his legacy stronger. And I think if you're a Spanish player and you want to be seen as the best midfielder in, you know, or the best player in your position ever in Spain, which I'm sure Rodri wants to be seen as, it's almost impossible without playing for Real Madrid and Barcelona. Well, you look at how criminally
gone wrong, Rich. Why now?
Because he spent 2 years being injured, thinking about things. He's probably realised that La Liga pace and intensity is going to be far better for him. He's probably realised, you know, just being in the World Cup with Spain, being around all the Spanish lads, you know, that he misses it and he wants to go back. If he doesn't go back now, it's you know, he could go back like David Silva did at 36 and, you know, be a, you know, I mean, David Silva was a bit part player, but he didn't go back to the, you know, Real Madrid or Barcelona. Or he could go now and he's got the chance of a couple of years, maybe 2 years playing at his top level in Spain.
Right, hang on a minute. Everyone's doing this right. He signed a contract, for fuck's sake. The contract bit's irrelevant. Elliot Anderson signed a contract with Nottingham Forest.
Nearly every player in the City team came having
BOUADDI signed a contract with Lille. What we doing? We can't be doing that. He signed a contract. Come on, guys. It's football. Transfers happen. You know,
and we've had the best of it. Well, we don't need to sell him, but if we don't sell him, we're paying him.
And Formidable's got a point. We're not Forest. I hear that, but we're not Real Madrid, mate.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think about that. You've got a player who his heart has and his head have moved on, and we can either get 80, you know, in transfer fees and save wages and everything, we can get 80, 90 million effectively for him, or we can keep him. We can watch him sign on January 1 for Real Madrid. We can see the reaction of the City fans when we've got a Real Madrid player playing in the team. We can watch him when he gets a slight injury, wanting to step out the team because he doesn't want to get worse, like before the World Cup, where, you know, his primary thing this season, whether we like it or not, was the World Cup, not City season. And, you know, we can think, oh, we're brilliant, we didn't sell him. And at the end of the season, we have to replace him. He hasn't been at his best because of that. And, you know, we've harmed the club just to be Billy Big Balls. I don't think that's a rational thing to do. And I don't think it's, you know, I think one message, and I think in one of Haaland's interviews, he even talked about the way City treat their best players. One of the reasons we've got so many good players and we've kept so many good players is we haven't kept them in cages. Aguero and Silva and De Bruyne and everyone stayed when they knew if they really wanted to push to go, they could. But they stayed because we treated them well. If we change what has been, you know, it was the philosophy of Pep more than everyone else, but if we change the way we behave to players, maybe there'll be players in future who choose not to come to us because, you know, we've gone to war with RODRI in the last year of his contract. And you know, there's nothing worse than going to, you know, like Newcastle did, going to war and then, you know, fight, and at the last minute give up, take the money and completely screw your season. Again, City need to be focused on the players who want to be there. You know, we've seen some world-class players re-sign in the last week. We focus on that and we focus on next season. And if he wants to go, then we get what we paid for him back and we move on.
The one thing that I'm scared of is that let's say we sell RODRI. We're not gonna just stick with BOUADDI and Anderson. We're gonna buy another player to start, presumably to start ahead of BOUADDI, right? So, what is BOUADDI gonna do then? Like, how are we going? Is it going to just become another Trafford situation where he just doesn't want to stay because he's not getting the game time? Like, what's the plan there? Because we can't just buy a player for 100-ish million, run him on the bench, and not really start him pretty much ever, really, because we're not going to have a player for one season.
I mean, my view is that if we sign another player,
sorry, Rich, can I say this? Guys, we don't have a reserves. Just let him rot in the reserves. There is no reserves.
I said on the bench. On the reserve.
Yeah. The reserves is sitting on the bench. And if you think City are just going to pay him 220, 250 grand a week to sit on a bench when it's RODRI.
And let's be quite clear.
City the
PSR and the, you know, fair play effects of sitting him on the bench is 100 million on our P&L for next season. So that's 100 million we can't spend on another player or on our wages. So if we want to go and make him rot on the bench, we're not only going to lose him, but we're going to lose at least one or two other players that the money we're giving up on him would have afforded. So but it's literally biting off your nose to spite your face. It's emotional. I get it. Football's an emotional game and people want to get all emotional, but that is not what wins leagues. That's not what improves teams, and that's not what builds City's future. That is what, you know, leads you into the mess Newcastle are in. Emotional behaviour last year, and I totally get it. I think, you know, I was as disgusted as anyone by Isaac's behaviour. But when you get emotional and you make irrational, stupid decisions when you're emotional, you suffer the consequences. And I think City are bigger and better than that. And this isn't some 24-year-old kid with 6 years left on his contract who's, you know, just reached the peak for City. This is a player who has done everything for City, who has been central to the best teams in the history of their, well, one of the two best teams, because I think there's that 17-19 team as well. Central to, you know, greatest season we've ever had. And if we leave angry with him, bitter with him, try and trash his legacy, that damages City's legacy as well. That damages our Champions League win. That damages our treble. And it's just silly emotion. And we've just got to, I guess, man up a bit. And I got very emotional when I heard it was Real Madrid, because I think Real Madrid's the wrong club. But if no one else has got any money, and if he doesn't want to commute from Barcelona to Madrid to see his wife then and his family, then so be it.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned on is the BOUADDI thing that I said. Like, okay, we're gonna buy BOUADDI for 100 million, but then we're gonna buy another midfielder who I think it's not gonna stay here for just a season, and then we have Elliot Anderson who's gonna start. So what is BOUADDI gonna do really? Like, is he just gonna be on the bench like we did with Trafford and Donnarumma again? Like, are we going to repeat the same mistake once again?
Look,
are we gonna trust?
Yeah. I don't think it's a mistake. Look at Fernandinho and Rodri. Rodri came in, he didn't play, and he was more experienced. He was 5 years old, 4 years older, 5 years older than BOUADDI is. He'd played in La Liga for Atletico Madrid, not for Lille. Rodri didn't come in and start every game and kick off. He was fed into the team for 18 months.
Because Level, Bibi, I know you're better than a lot of people saying this. Rodri is going to leave, whether it's now or in 12 months. He's going. You need to get used to life after Rodri. At the moment, you're clinging to some. It's like you're clinging to a girl who doesn't really want to be in a relationship with you. He's going to go. So let's just get some money for him.
But Rich, it's a bit different, the situation, because Fernandinho and Rodri Fernandinho was already in the club and there was a clear succession plan, right? Like, when Fernandinho was starting to come out, then you bring Rodri in. That was the idea. With BOUADDI and this new player who's going to replace Rodri, he's not going to stay here for just a season, right? He's going to be here for.
I don't think the new player will be a Rodri replacement. I mean, one thing I think we maybe do need, because BOUADDI's more Yaya Toure than he is Rodri. BOUADDI isn't Rodri.
Well, he's very similar to Anderson, I think.
Yeah. So I actually think there's games where you could have played Rodri, Anderson, and BOUADDI. I think there's games where BOUADDI can cover for Anderson. There's games where you may be comfortable not having a tempo setter and you bring in there. I think what City do need is a tempo setter, because I think that's what we will miss. And I know we're not going to play pet football. Perhaps it's not quite as central to Maresca ball as it, but you know, I think we probably need another body, but I actually think, you know, if I'd be starting the season with Nico G, in all honesty.
It's not a tempo setter though.
Well,
No, but
you have
I
still
think
got
he's
Nico
as good
J.
as, yeah, I think Nico G is as good in that position and did it for the first half of last season as anyone we're likely to sign. I mean, a tempo setter, you know, who we're going to get, you know, I think Fabio Ruiz can do that. I think Wharton is the closest thing in English football to a tempo setter, but, you know, I'm not sure whether we're going to be that, you know, focused on a tempo setter. Maybe it'll be a...
Do you know what it is, Rich? I'm going to say Tom made a great point earlier. I think some fans have to realign their expectations. We are where we were sort of 6-7 years ago when we bought all these, well, 10 years ago when we brought all these players that became legends. We're rebuilding it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I keep saying it. I think people have stopped enjoying the journey and they want the destination straight away. I
also think people are massively overestimating where our rivals are. You know, you listen to the way some fans are melting down about City, and you'd think, honestly, all our rivals have spent $500,000. Liverpool, I would say, looking at their squad, are in crisis, and I can't believe they're looking at Barcola when they've got, you know, they haven't got a defence full-back, and I think they're massively lacking in centre midfield. So Liverpool go in, and they've got big injuries. So Arsenal, I think, they are so cocky, but football has just changed the rules, and the rules would wipe out about a quarter of their goals from last year, the rules that have changed. Rice looks broken, and I don't think Rice will be back to himself till January. Saliba is out, and their whole team's based around Saliba and Gabriel. I think Arsenal got some huge problems. They haven't retained the league in a century, 93 years or something since Arsenal last retained the league. So I don't think Arsenal looks strong. Chelsea in some ways worry me more than Arsenal and Liverpool, but it's going to take them 6 months to get up to speed because new coach, young squad, you know, high ceiling, but they're going to have a bit of chaos on the way. United are going to be playing twice as many games, and they're just going to find that incredibly hard. Villa have had to sell, you know, their best player. So I think people are massively overestimating. And the other thing you have to look, if you're looking relative to the last two seasons, we had the season before last without Rodri at all, and we had last season where Rodri didn't play more than a couple of games that were at his World Cup level. So season on season, we're not really losing Rodri. We lost Rodri 2 years ago. Yes, if we got him back and he was playing at his best, it would be like a new signing, a world-class new signing. But, you know, we have been without Rodri for 2 years. And, you know, that's, I think, someone on, maybe it was Macca or Governor made the point on Blues Down Under this week that if Rodri goes now, we're not really, you know, Maresca is starting from scratch and, you know, working on that midfield. If Maresca spends a year building his team around Rodri and learning to play with Rodri and all that, and then has to bin that in a year, it's almost like Maresca's first year will have been wasted. And unless that brings us the league and the Champions League, you know, it's probably not a gamble worth taking because then we have to start again next season. So, yeah, but we can't sign a Rodri replacement. There isn't a Rodri replacement.
There isn't a Rodri replacement out there.
So we're going to have to change how we play. And I you know, for me, BOUADDI, a good season as he comes in, plays, starts, you know, 35 of the 70 games we've got.
You've got Elliot Anderson.
15, 20 in the Premier League and, you know, builds to be, you know, up to his level next season.
But why are fans concerned if Haaland leaves?
Because he's good.
No, but what's this? If Rodri leaves, Haaland will leave as well. Haaland's even the worst situation. He's got an 8.5 year deal. He's not going anywhere without a lot of money coming in. City have standards years ago. Standards are as high, but you can't just rant your fingers, Jeremy Doku. Throw your toys out the pram, have a rant, and then go, I want City to win the league. And Liverpool and Arsenal and all these other teams not wanting to do the exact same thing. We're not, I know we only care about Manchester City, but we're not a one-team league here, guys. You can't.
The thing with me is I just don't trust Vienna at all to do this, because I think the profiling is incorrect, and I think that with Rodri in, BOUADDI and Anderson is fine. Without Rodri, I don't think that makes a lot of sense anymore, because you're buying two players that are very similar to one another, in BOUADDI and Anderson.
Have you ever thought Rodri might want to leave because Pep's gone?
That could be the case as well. I don't doubt
Have you ever
that.
thought maybe Rodri wanted to play with Pep?
That could be the case.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think it's, he's had 2 years injured. He spent a lot of time thinking, and he wants to be in the place he's most comfortable. I mean, and I think the idea that, I live at the opposite end of the world to my home, so I'm not someone who desperately wants to go home. But I know so many people who move to Australia and, move to, especially in certain parts of Australia, and want to go back home because when they're not at home, they don't feel themselves, or they want to be with their family, or their parents are getting old, or someone's sick, or, so many reasons why people want to go home. But I also know that Rodri's deeply ambitious, and if he wants to be the legend of Spanish football he wants to be, he either has to have Barcelona or Real Madrid's fans on his side. The example for me of this is David Silva. I think David Silva, and his stats and his performances for Spain show this, is up there as a footballer with the Barcelona trio. He's up there with a footballer with Spain's greatest ever players. He's their fourth highest scorer ever. He's one of their top 10 most capped players. He was a phenomenal player. But if you got Spanish fans in Spain to rank Spanish footballers, you'd often find he wouldn't be in the top 30, because they will list a whole lot of Real Madrid and Barcelona players because they get all the media attention, they get everything. Even Rodri, I watched a lot of Busquets. Rodri has achieved as an individual and as an impact on a team far more than Busquets ever did. I think he's a far more complete footballer. Rodri did it on his own when Busquets needed Xavi and Iniesta. And actually, Spain's World Cup win this time was probably the most dominant win of my lifetime in a Euros or a Copa America or a World Cup that I've seen. But he will still be rated in Spain lower than Busquets because he didn't play for Barcelona and he didn't play for Real Madrid. And Rodri realizes that, and he needs to go and play for one of those two so that he gets one of the two sets of fans who dominate the media in his camp to set his legacy.
Yeah, I think that's probably the first time I completely disagree with Rich. I think with
no, you've got to occasionally.
Those two, especially.
Has Rich sold Rodri yet?
No, I've said Rodri's better than Busquets. So
I don't. Yeah, that for me is a little bit crazy. I think Busquets is ridiculous. I think this is the best six of all time.
Breaking news: we put in our first bid for the backup goalkeeper. First bid.
Yeah, I think he's good enough to start, to be honest.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get, I must admit, I don't know actually if there is a player. I was hoping we'd get a homegrown one so he didn't take the slot, but I'm not sure there are any. I'm not sure who's available as a homegrown keeper who'd be on the bench and meet City's needs of being good enough.
I'm just going to do these quickly. Simo Sups, thank you for the 31 months, mate. You are a superstar and your loyalty means a hell of a lot. 50% of that will go to the Dementia Society this month. And FIFA, thank you for your 2-year anniversary, mate. We appreciate that. Thank you so much for yours. Don't forget, there is a super chat goal available this evening, as there will be for the next month and a half, where 50% of all super chats will go towards the Dementia and Alzheimer's Society. And also, if you can smash those likes, that would be good. We will come on to the pre-season stuff because I've got some nice videos to show as well. But everyone's got into the RODRI stuff.
Rich, I know Martin mentioned Ramsdale earlier. Would you have preferred Ramsdale?
I don't. I mean, yeah, I suppose we're not playing
Ellison
ball anymore.
Haaland doesn't have release clauses.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I wouldn't want Ramsdale starting 25 games for us in the Premier League, but...
So hang on. Can I just read this? RODRI committed a difference between us winning the league and not. What value do we put on that? So we win the league this year. RODRI goes next year. Do we not win the league then? Are you saying we can only win the league with RODRI?
I think that we're more likely to win the league this season, and then we buy time for the young players like BOUADDI and Anderson to really learn out of each other, and makes us more likely to win.
No. That's not me. Yeah, everyone's saying RODRI will win us the league. So when RODRI goes, because he will, we never win the league again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a catch-22 here. If RODRI stayed, we're more likely to win the league next year. I accept that, but we're less likely to win the league the year after, and possibly the year after that. So, you know, RODRI going brings forward the problem a year and gets us a year further forward in the solution. So we will be a better team in 27, 28 and 28, 29 if RODRI goes now. We'll be a worse team in 26, 27. I think, you know, that's pretty self-evident.
Right, so all you're doing is, Rich, is kicking the can down the road to when you start rebuilding again.
Yeah, if he's definitely going, yeah, of course you are. Once you know,
so we're just kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, it's like getting a 1 year free trading in baseball. It can fix your problem for a season, but it doesn't solve any of your long-term problems.
The problem is still going to come. You're just delaying the problem.
Yeah, we'll all be in meltdown in January when he signs for.
He'll be back in meltdown because everyone thinks he's going to get this nice send-off. In January, he will sign a pre-contract with Real Madrid, and then what? Then we're shutting him from January till May. That's really going to inspire him to come and help us win the league. That, isn't it?
And it's really going to help the players around him as well. And it's really going to help the manager. I mean, if he really wants to go, then it has to be done for the sake of the manager, the sake of the finances, the sake of the club. Last time we kept a player who really didn't want to be there, Tevez, ultimately, I suppose it ultimately had a happy ending, but it was nearly a bloody disaster that took a side that should have been winning the league by 10 points.
Guys, can we not
have to win it in the last second of the game?
People who are putting lies up in the chat, can you just warn them, please, before you get banned? There are no bombers. Stop it.
And what about Bernardo Silva, Rich?
What about him?
Well, he wanted to leave for 4 seasons, and he didn't go.
Yeah, but there's a massive difference. Bernardo Silva said he wanted to leave. He had a release clause in his contract.
Yeah, we gave him a release clause.
We released him if someone had brought the price in that was wanted.
And he signed his extension.
And he didn't have a year left, and he wasn't set on a particular club in his hometown. So it was a very different scenario.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that he wanted to leave for consecutive seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And City turned around to him and said, fine, if you want to go, then bring us what we think your value is.
Yes, but he also helped City, Ozzy, by signing a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
I know, after
but that's no different to what...
But RODRI's not doing that. Yeah. RODRI won't sign a deal.
Yeah, and RODRI, it is that position. City have a price they're going to sell RODRI for. It's going to be a lot lower than some of our fans think it is, but City aren't going to sell RODRI for 10 million to Real Madrid. They're going to have their price. I suspect it'll be about what we paid for him. Maybe slightly under, slightly over if we're lucky, depending on the relative negotiating position. And we'll do exactly that.
Because I'm with you. That's the ideal scenario for me. put a release clause in his deal and let him say, if he signed, say, a 3-4 year deal and we put a release clause in, I think everyone would be happy. Because Bernardo showed respect to the club by saying, I'll stay here.
Yeah, I mean, the problem I've got with all of this is that RODRI was flapping his gums, you know, during the last international break before the World Cup, flirting with Real Madrid. Now, a lot of this recently has come out from his agent. RODRI hasn't spoken himself that he wants to leave. It's all coming from the agent, and the agent's pushing this. Now, you know, yeah, I'm sure he's doing it on RODRI's behalf, but at the end of the day, I don't like the way that his agent's doing this, and ultimately it's RODRI's responsibility, like it was back in the day with Yaya. Listen, for me, RODRI is a 100 million plus player, and regardless if he's got a year left on his contract, his current worth to what we as a club think he is regardless of what the market or even the market dictates right now that he's a £100 million player, because you've got how many players have gone just this transfer window for 100 million that I think a lot of them are questionable.
But it's just
Rich, let me finish.
Honestly, they're 23 signing 5-year contracts with a value at the end of it. It's just
Rich.
It's
let
just
him finish,
silly.
Rich.
It's economically illiterate.
Let him finish.
That's your opinion. It's not
fact.
a fact.
No, it is a fact. It's economically illiterate to say a 30-year-old who has no value at the end of his contract has the same asset purchase value as someone who's 22.
Harry
will
Kane,
be worth 100 million
Hazard.
at the end of it.
Harry Kane,
Eden Hazard. Yeah, Harry Kane wanted to go on a free to an English club. Bayern had to pay to get him. They got a good deal. And Harry Kane didn't want to go to Bayern. He wanted to go to an English club on a free. So they were having to pay substantial money to get Harry Kane to change his plans. I can't remember the Eden Hazard deal, but you know,
funny that
it was a lot younger. It was a lot younger.
He wasn't young.
He was about 30.
And he wasn't going to his home team, was he? But he wasn't going to his home team. He wasn't going, you know, in the last year, you know, in the same way.
Rich, listen, he has just won the World Cup. He was voted the best player at the World Cup. Okay, he's won the Ballon d'Or. All right. Yeah. His price tag is valued of what we think it is.
But what I'm saying, obviously, that isn't going to happen. You're going to be disappointed and angry.
Well, if you let me finish, that's my point. You just not even let me finish.
Let each other finish the points. Let's come on.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is that what he's valued to us, you add all those things together, for me and for a lot of fans, he is worth 100 million plus. Now, what I'm saying is yes, you know, City could sell him for less. They could. But for me, that market value is what it is for me as a fan and what I think he's done for this club. Okay? Now, what I would say as well is that for me, if Real Madrid don't meet a valuation which City feel acceptable, then he stays for next year. And if he goes on a free next year, then he goes. I would rather keep him for another year because he's that value to us as a club. Because as it's been said before, he's more likely to help us to win the Premier League next season. If he's not around, I think it's more unlikely we don't win a Premier League.
I've got a reply to that.
The other thing as well is that if this was Liverpool, if this was Man United, if this was Arsenal, would we be selling RODRI to one of those clubs? No. Why are we selling to Real Madrid when they are one of our competitors in Europe? If not,
he only wants to go to Real Madrid.
He only wants to go there, and he may only want
to go to Real Madrid. He may be from there, but it doesn't matter. He's still
and he cannot sign for Liverpool, Arsenal in January.
From January, he can sign for Real Madrid.
He cannot sign for Arsenal and Man United until July 1 next year.
We can stop it for 6 months if we wanted to.
We can stop it for 6 months.
He can sign on January 1st for Real Madrid, and there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, but he's still our player till the end of the season.
All right, then, do you think
in our team,
and we've dropped in the last few games of last season, and I'm not having a go at RODRI here, do you think RODRI, everyone's saying he helped us win the league, did he help us win the league the last few games last season?
No, he stepped out the team to focus on his fitness for the World Cup when City wanted to pick him.
With a lot of players, that's fine, I guess.
No, and he's not having a go at Rodri because
I'm not having a go. I'm saying it's a fact.
There was a lot of fans at Bournemouth away when Rodri put that performance in that was saying Rodri's not, you know, he's done, he's got injured, blah, blah, blah. And then 3 weeks later puts in, you are rightfully saying, a player at a tournament performances week in, week out. You're telling me within 2 weeks he suddenly just got bingo match fit and went back to 100% again?
Yeah. And I'm not saying we don't say
that. Does that not concern anyone?
Yeah. My fundamental difference, Ozzy, is I'm saying that the price we'll get and the price that will be done will be nearer 60 million than 100. I'm not disputing the fact that we're better with him than without, but once he's made up his mind to go, that's kind of irrelevant. You know, I might think I'm better with, you know, ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or ex-job, but if I've gone elsewhere, then
but Rich, it's not entirely irrelevant to us as a club.
Do you think a player can play as well? Just ask you a question. Just answer me
one at a time. Bloody hell, we're going to go screen.
I'm going to ask you a straight question, Ozzy. Like, and you know, Bernardo is quite unique in this, but I don't think Bernardo's heart was ever elsewhere because there was never another club. Do you think somebody in their job, in a relationship, if they've made up their mind they're leaving that job or that relationship, they've made up their mind they're elsewhere, their thoughts are elsewhere, do you think they can give 100%?
The problem
I don't think so.
I don't.
The problem you're talking about is you're talking about a relationship and you're talking about possibly a regular job. Now, being a footballer is not a regular job. It's, you know, you are paid astronomical fees and it doesn't work like any other business on this planet.
Yeah, but do you
want me to answer the question, Rich, or not?
Yeah,
Rich, please, one at a time, or we're never going to get finished. Right. And trust me, this is not the main topic of the evening. I promised everyone it really wasn't.
How long have you been going at this?
35 fucking minutes. Oh, an hour.
Oh dear, oh dear.
We are talking pre-season. I've got videos to share.
Right, the way things are going.
Put up Rich Rant. You got a Rich Rant video. Put it up.
Bloody hell.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
I forgot what the question was now.
Rich, and then we do move on, I promise.
No, whether you could give 100% for something your heart's gone from.
Yeah, I understand that, Rich. But at the end of the day, like, this is not a regular job. This is being a footballer. And being a footballer, you don't get the same kind of the way things work. You have to be honest about this. Is that in this kind of being a footballer in this market, it doesn't matter if you feel like you're going to be able to give 100%. Like, we saw him through 2 years of not playing because of an injury. Like, we put a lot of value into this player. And the way he's acting at the moment isn't particularly very well at the moment. Like, for me, I would rather keep him. And I think at the end of the day, if City don't get the valuation that they want for him, then he just has to sit down and get on with it. You know, he'd have to stay another season. And that's just the way football is. Because we did that with so many players in the past. We did, like I said, we did with Bernardo, where we said, regardless of the situation, and we've said this so many times, that if a player wants to go, fair enough. But what they have to do is they have to bring the valuation that they think the player is worth. If they do, great, then he can move on. But if they don't, Rich, then I'm not going to sell RODRI for 60 million because to Real Madrid, one of our competitors, because at the end of the day, that sets a precedent. The big thing I just want to quickly say is this is one of the things that's happened over the last few seasons where player power has become really ridiculous. We saw what happened with Isaac last summer. We as a club, as one of the big clubs in Europe, cannot allow players to think they can dictate to the club. That's not how this is supposed to work.
Isaac had just signed a new contract, had 5 years less than his contract, and was 23. And hadn't given his best to Newcastle. He'd been there a couple of years. RODRI scored the winning goal in the Champions League final for us. He's given his all for 7 years. Admittedly, the last 2 fairly injured, and he's in the last year of his contract. He's going on a free. It is a very, very different very different scenario. If we have another Spanish captain, Ballon d'Or winner, who's from Barcelona, who wants to go back for Barcelona, and has given us 7 years and scored the Champions League, yes, we've set a precedent for that. But I just think it's such a radically different situation. And I think we're naive if we think Real Madrid have tapped up Rodri. Rodri knows his own mind. I've seen fewer footballers ever play for City who know their own mind more than Rodri. If anything, it's been Rodri's side tapping up Real Madrid to bring the deal forward a year than it has been Real Madrid pushing it. I think Perez didn't even want this deal now. He wanted Rodri on a free in a year. So I think the pressure, if anything, has come, from certain elements of the Real Madrid fan base and from Rodri to get the deal brought forward a year. And I agree with you. We need to get what we think he's worth. I'm just saying I think you are very unrealistic compared to what the money people, compared to what City's staff and everyone else think is realistic for Rodri. I think if we can get what we paid for him back, we will have done very well and we will be very happy with it. But I think there is going to be an element of our fan base, you being one, who are going to be deeply unhappy about that, even though that was the realistic position.
No,
and I think that's setting us up for trouble in the fan base.
I understand that. Listen, I understand the fear and the thing. Listen, this fear began when Pep Guardiola left, and then Bernardo went, and Stones has gone. Stones and Ake, we already knew. Listen, I know this. I mean, no one was sat having a shit the bed over Nathan Ake going out. There wasn't even, nobody did a bloody line on Nathan Ake going out the door, and he was superb for us. At some point, did we really think 10 years of Pep was going to last forever? And let's be honest, there was no one on here, because I know we are a sensible group, and Formidable will back me up on this. Half the fan base were fucking trying to get Pep Guardiola out the door last season, and half these players were shit, and the manager was shit, and the club was falling apart, and we didn't know what we were doing, and we needed a reset. Well, what's happened is reality's coming at you around the head with a big wet fish, and you've suddenly gone, oh shit, Pep's gone. Oh shit, Bernardo's gone. Oh shit, Rodri could go. And you've all gone, shit, reality's hit. And you don't like the reality. So be careful what you wish for sometimes.
The reality is really exciting.
What you wish for.
I look at reality and I see, Nick O'Reilly, most exciting young English footballer. I see Elliot
Nobody's
Anderson.
excited over Elliot Anderson. No one's excited over BOUADDI. No one's excited over Maresca. Everyone's like just shit the bed. Like we're being relegated.
And we're still going into next season.
Yeah, people acting like we're Newcastle right now.
Yeah. Haaland was the...
I heard that. You little dig there.
Haaland was the personality of the World Cup, got his goals, became a true global superstar. Doku, Anderson, BOUADDI, O'Reilly, Kusanov, Gay. We've got, even Donnarumma's young. We've got an incredibly talented young team.
Left. Zabaleta left. Yaya left. Mancini left. Pellegrini left. Bill and Ben down the road had left. We have lost bigger players like Rodri. KDB went. David Silva went. It's football. Ronaldo went like this to Man United. See ya, I'm off to Real Madrid. David Beckham went. See ya, I'm off to Real Madrid. Jonathan Woodgate went. See you, Newcastle. I'm off to Real Madrid. Real Madrid is just a club.
And they did it.
Hang on, Rich. Real Madrid is a club that 99% of players pull their pants down and get an hard-on over. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's the badge. I don't know whether it's the smell of the grass. I don't know if it's the stadium song that they play out. I don't know. For some weird reason, everyone jumps themselves over Real Madrid. And it isn't just Manchester City. Every team in the world has lost their top players to Real Madrid. Luis Figo walked out of Barcelona to go to Real Madrid. That's unfortunately, Real Madrid are that pain in the ass.
Most definitely.
Unfortunately. I'd be more upset. At least he's leaving England.
Right.
At least he's leaving England. I'd be more upset if he was going to Liverpool or Arsenal or somewhere.
Although annoyingly, we will have to play him twice next season, like we always bloody do.
And that's what the fear is. The fear is seeing him in a Real Madrid shirt. I'd rather get 80 million quid, because I'll be honest with you, and this is going to sound awful, and this is just my opinion. People can attack me for this. I don't fully trust RODRI to give 100% for 12 months next year.
So does this mean that RODRI is not going to be a legend at City?
No, I'll be honest with you. I think
yeah.
To the fans,
yeah,
but I honestly believe that I don't think he'll get a statue anymore. I think all that's gone.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Martin, to be honest. I think if he had left amicably, if this hadn't have been played out in the public, if he'd have done this behind the scenes and gone, listen, I want to go, can we find a way of this being done? I think that's possibly when he still would have kept a bit of a legendary status. But because it's gone down the way it's gone down, I think it's gone out the door for him.
Yeah, I mean,
always a legend for me, man. Always
legends are our own choices, aren't they? I mean,
yeah,
you know, I have Sean Goat as a City legend for me. I mean,
that's because your standards are in the mud.
But he's not a City legend for everyone. So we're
quiet,
all
Rich.
First Ballon d'Or winner.
Ed doesn't know Sean Goat is. Neither does Spartacus.
He's a legend. He's a legend. Treble.
Rich,
come on, man.
There's 6 of us on this panel, and only 50% of us know who Sean Goat is.
Well, him and Dickov are both legends.
Listen,
even Horlock can have legends.
Back to when you're a younger man.
Do you know what I will say? And I'm going to have a little bit of Foden glaze here for 3 minutes. Maybe you'll start respecting Phil Foden, who does put Manchester City first before anything. Maybe we'll start realising what proper fandom is.
Yeah, I must admit, I watched Trev shared it, but there was a high performance interview with
No, I know, Andrew, I'm not talking about you, mate. You know that.
There's a high performance interview with Haaland's agent, a couple of weeks ago on YouTube. It's about an hour interview with her, and I have to say she's like the Khaldoon of female agents.
Pretty much did, baby.
Very impressive, and I actually think, that what I think they'll be doing around Phil this season is really gonna, I think, take Phil back to where he was.
This is where I disagree with Jeremy Docker. Dimon says we're signing mid players now. I think you're looking at the players we signed as they were world class then. RODRI in his first season, no one liked. Everyone was destroying him in his first season.
Yeah. I think there's no question that Anderson is a higher profile.
Yeah, people are going to get shocked.
Signing the most of Anderson's a bigger signing than most of our superstars were when we actually signed them. Anderson's probably, in the season he had in the Premier League, was quite like the season Kevin De Bruyne had, slightly different role, slightly different assists, but I think he had a breakout season at a similar age and a similar level to what De Bruyne had for Wolfsburg when...
Feels like relegation. Right, Russian Blue, can I ask you a question? I'm not being...
It's taking the mick.
Right. I'm hoping it was. I was going to say, yeah, this is. Please put a laughing emoji on the end of it. Right, we're changing subjects because I'm bored of it. Cameron Dempsey with a £5 thank you. Don't forget, 50% does go towards Alzheimer's Society. Thank you. As a match going fan, I will support RODRI if he is here. If not, I won't boo him when we meet in November. I'm sure many match going fans will be the same. Yes, I have heard some match going fans say they'll boo Savino though if he's in a blue shirt, which I don't agree with. Greetings, Paloma. Thank you for your $4.99. Greetings to you all. What is going on with Wharton? No clubs at all want him. That is a big red herring for me. Why is nobody coming for Wharton? No one's even bidding for him. If we sell RODRI and if Bruno is gone to Arsenal, who is out there for us, I still want Caicedo, but I know there's going to be a lot of money and everyone will tell me there's a lot of money, and I understand that. My sad thing is I've got a feeling they would look at Enzo Fernandez. And as much as I'd hate it, and I would, I said this earlier on Ozzy's transfer buzz, I have a sneaky feeling Enzo Fernandez is where we're going to end up. And it does worry me. That is one player I will boo. I won't boo him. I won't acknowledge him. I won't clap him. I won't sing his name. He'll just be a warm body in a City shirt for me at that point. Cameron Dempsey said, Rodri's a legend for one goal alone. If that was Calvin Phillips that scored in Istanbul, he'd be a legend. I've seen people, Cameron, AI, Rodri.
I'm just imagining that world, yeah.
Gene's facing, which is crazy. Sam, thank you for the 22 months. You, sir, are a legend. Right. Pre-season is upon us, chaps. We're in Hong Kong right now. Do you want me to play the videos now, or do you want me to wait? Because Pat has sent some lovely videos over that I can show. Would you like them now or later?
I'll go for it now. Let's have a bit of that.
Cheer Ozzy and me up.
Especially Rick.
Oh, sorry, we're just sorting out a stream with a certain journalist at the moment. Right, these are the videos. I'm just going to play this. Let me share my screen. You are going to see me WhatsApp, but tough shit, he said the tidder. This is where Pat was today. Because Pat is our man on the ground in Argentina. Hong Kong.
Argentina?
No, he's not in Argentina. Right, no, continue. I need to transfer the videos across. Carry on. Right, we're playing Inter Milan. How does everyone feel about this Hong Kong trip?
Don't care. I can't be interested in pre-season ever. Even the Charity Shield. Football starts against Bournemouth. Everything else is just marketing.
Well, that's Rich done for the season then.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it better when we went and played Doncaster and Heart of Midlothian and stuff.
And by the way, no, these are exclusive videos. No one else has got these videos. Nobody else.
For me,
nobody else has Pat's number.
Well, nobody else was where Pat was today.
For me, it's more about the system. There are going to be some sprinkles of senior players in there with youth players. So I want to see how Maresca sets them up. I think some of these young players might have a shot, especially in the attacking lineup. So I do want to see a McAdoo. I do want to see a Manga to see what they can offer us, maybe see how they pick things up. And I am interested to see some of these senior players come back and how they pick up the Maresca system too. I don't care if we win or lose, but I just want to see the cohesion building, players working together, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you, Ed. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the academy kids get some game time. The players you just talked about, like McAdoo and stuff, highly tipped from the academy and highly thought of. And it'd be good to see them, with the rest of the senior squad that are there, and see how they all kind of interact. And as you said, I mean, it doesn't really matter, like, if we go out and spank Inter Milan 6-0, which I don't expect, but I'm just giving an example. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's pre-season. It's just about how Maresca is kind of getting his thoughts and his opinions and his tactics across to this team. That's what we're going to be looking at, really. It's not about the scores and going out there and beating the Atletico Madrids and that. It's just seeing how well he's coaching these players. And from everything we're hearing, he's everyone's loving him at the moment. All the team that are there are loving what he's doing. The coaching staff, some of the City, hierarchy, and a few of the City press people and all that are out there as well. He's really doing a good job from what we're hearing, and it's nice to hear that there's that cohesiveness, and that the squad are happy.
I know Semenyo compared his instructions and detail oriented, compared him to Cap.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's high praise. Do you know what I mean? Like, because that's the worry that we're all having, is that how is Enzo going to kind of pick up after Pep? Because we've seen what happened with Alex Ferguson when he left United, and that's the biggest fear for this club, is that could happen to us. I don't think it will. I think the structure around the club, the way we're built, we're in a far, far better position thing United were when, Alex left and David Gill left from United. The core of the management team is still there. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's just brilliant. I think we are one of the best run clubs in the world. I think Enzo Maresca was highly thought of when he was at City the first time round, when he was with the academy, and then when he came into Pep's coaching staff. They thought really highly of him, and at that point, when he was at Chelsea, and they knew, or they had a good feeling that Pep was going to be leaving, they wanted to have Enzo Maresca through the door. They wanted him so desperately, they started talking to him while at Chelsea, from all accounts. So, yeah, I mean, I think, as Rich said earlier, I think we need to be optimistic. It's going to be different. There's no denying that. It's not going to be like it was under Pep. No one is going to ever replace Pep Guardiola. It's just impossible. But I'm optimistic to see what he does going into next season. I definitely think we'll challenge. And that's all we can ever ask, is that we at least challenge for a title.
I'm just ready for some football. I need some football back in my life. There's only so much gardening you can do. I was painting the shed today. Time's time. I need some football. It was that bad last night. I was watching Liverpool's pre-season. So I need some City in my life.
Jesus, you must have been desperate, mate.
100%.
Who would have ever thought you'd see Wrexham at Yankee Stadium? Anyway,
it was a sight. But yeah, we need some football back in our lives. I'm just interested how we're going to play. That's the main thing for me. And no doubt people are going to lose their mind because they'll assume this is the players we're going to play with. If it doesn't work out, well, oh God, this isn't working. These aren't the players he's going to play with. I just like the academy players getting a chance to run out there. Do you know what I mean? You might find yourself a little superstar that no one expected gets a spot in the first team. I like that. But it is what it is. Still, it's pre-season.
Do you think there's a chance that Enzo Maresca may play going into next season more of the youngsters than Pep did? Does anyone feel that that's a possibility? Because he is known for, liking the youth players. At one point, he was looking at buying O'Reilly from us for Chelsea. So is that something we could possibly look forward to going into Maresca?
I think he'll incorporate them more than Pep did. That was one of the things I didn't like. Pep never did was bring more young players through. When there's more opportunities there. And that's one of the things we tend to do. We just seem to. It's like a money factory in our academy, which is fair enough. But there's still a few that could come through and should come through, really. So I think Maresca might do that a bit more, to be fair.
Yeah, because Pep said that himself towards the end, didn't he? That he didn't rely on enough from the academy. He only started doing it towards the end when he brought in the likes of Nico O'Reilly and So I think there's a better chance that might happen. Because we have got some fantastic academy kids. I'm not expecting them all to suddenly become superstars or start every game, but I think there's possibly more of a chance that some of them might find their way through the academy into the squad at least.
I think there's one in particular, which is why I'm not desperate on the winger signing right now. The winger signing I can give or take, because I really do think Ryan McKay will be someone who will be given a proper chance this season. Because as you'll see in the video in a minute, he was a big part of the kit unveiling today.
I was just going to say that was a big thing, that one, Foden, Cousin-off, and he's there as well. It's like
McKay was the guy they brought out, not Gavardio, not Diaz, not Donnarumma. It was Ryan McKay. And I keep saying it, Caldoon mentioned him by name in his interview.
He's definitely very highly sought at the club. I mean, I said this a few weeks, I think it's about a month or two ago, I kind of put it on Insta that I'd heard that the possibility of him actually going one on pre-season and two, Maresca having a really good look at him during pre-season and then might be kind of integrated into the first team, for next season. So I think, this is all looking like it's...
I still think he needs time, Ozza. I still think he needs time.
He's a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why if we were going to buy him in Bailly, I'd rather go and give Ryan McKay the go than going spending 50 million quid in Bailly and he's by all intents and purposes, his agents are being dicks right now because they're asking for signing on fees, image right fees. They're talking about Mbappe like he's some Ballon d'Or winning player at the minute. The figures they're demanding and everything else, it's shocking.
I mean, we talked about this earlier on the Instagram show on the Transfer Buzz. You know, the moment you look at the kind of quality of wingers in Europe, and it's not great. You know, you're not going to be able to go out there and buy some of the, you know, like the PSG lads. You know, it's unlikely you're going to be able to get one of the best players out of there. You know, and I just think you look at round and you kind of go, there isn't anyone really. I mean, I talked about Nico Williams earlier, which I think he's the only one that I could say.
And he doesn't excite me, also.
No, I'm not saying he massively excites me, but he's the only one I can think of that has got decent experience and isn't a 19-year-old.
Would you need to sign his brother, though? Don't he have to take his brother everywhere with him, Nico Williams?
You can't have too many Williamses in your team. Good Welsh lads.
Exactly.
I've always heard Williams a bit of a knobhead myself, but...
And if we're losing RODRI, we have to sign Williams.
We're not losing RODRI, have we? I don't think we've said that, have we?
Why? Is the rumours of Rodri leaving? Is
Rodri from the Valleys.
I mean, I'll just show you these videos from today, which are really, really good videos. They're only short, but there's quite a few. This is Pat.
What's going on, guys? Pat here, live from Hong Kong. Just on my way to the Hong Kong harbourfront for the unveiling of this season's new away kit, the Bumblebee Worker Bee kit. So stick around and more content that comes shortly. Cracking view that, isn't it? Hope you're doing well, guys. Talk to you soon.
That's a bit narcissist of him.
I was about to say that. I'm sure he meant to see.
You have that nervousness again, and you're doing everything to impress. It's basically for everyone in the club. It's a fresh start. So everyone's probably come back this pre-season 100% ready to go and doing everything to impress Enzo.
And obviously, we mentioned the running.
That was Scott Carson and FG.
Hey everyone, hello again from Hong Kong waterfront here. Just chilling out, enjoying everything. They've got the Carabao and the FA Cup on display. I've just been able to get a few photos there. FG's just been on stage with Scott Carson, just having a bit of a chat about the upcoming season and of course the new away kit as well. So just waiting to see who else is going to be special guests here. The rumours are it's going to be Kuzanov, Phil Foden and Ryan McAdoo, but wait and see. And as soon as I know, I'll get the information out to you. Talk to you in a bit.
Okay, I'm just going to say this now. We not have Scott Carlson as our backup keeper.
First player we are going to welcome onto the stage. He had an outstanding 25-26 campaign. And he made his senior debut in the FA Cup against Exeter City. Hong Kong, please make some noise for Ryan McAdoo! Right.
But Nico Ryan.
Congratulations and thank you for signing a new contract at this club. You're not just loved in Manchester, you're loved by all of this fan base. How does it feel to be here?
Amazing. The fans are always amazing here as well. Always support.
There's a new manager as well, Enzo Maresca, a man you know so well. How's it been in pre-season so far? A lot of running?
It's been tough. Obviously, humidity is very difficult, but yeah, we're getting used to it now.
Listen, this away kit is one of the best kits I've seen. Of course, it's being modelled by our players right now. Where does this rank in kits?
Yeah, it's up there for sure. It's a really nice kit.
It's also got the Manchester B on.
One more, last one.
Incredible season. He's lightning quick. He's good in the air. Please welcome one of the Premier League standout talents, Okay, and last but not least, to reveal our new away kit. Hold on! He made his first team debut in 2017. City fans absolutely love him. Please welcome one of our own, Phil
Foden, he's one of our own. He's one of our own. He's one of our own. Phil Foden, he's one of our own.
New away kit.
It's just be so fucking awkward for them.
So there you go. Yeah. So Phil Foden is a superstar over in Asia.
I love how Pat tried to get that chant going, just none of them had a clue. Like, Foden, Foden, Foden.
Yeah. I love the fact that I never realised that McAdoo's about 4'10", because he made Phil Foden look about 6'2" next to him. How tall is he? He's tiny, isn't he? Absolute little nugget.
Rich.
What? I think he's.
Give
I
him
think
a chance
he's
to grow.
I think he's old enough to have grown, isn't he?
Not necessarily.
He could be like. Oh, he's going to be the next Messi at that height.
Don't do that, Mario. Let's be respectful to people, please. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean that was the kick. See, I told you they were exclusives. Nobody else has got them.
They've messed up on that, though, haven't they? The club announcing it's going to get, shown tomorrow and whatnot, and then everything's out today. You know what it looks like. It's just like, hang on. I know it gets released tomorrow, but everything's out today. Might as well just release it today.
They've done what they did last year, haven't they? They released it abroad. They did that with the American one.
Yeah, I knew Martin was going to chime in with that one.
At least they give us some at this time, though, with the open training session. I suppose that's something. We didn't get anything last time.
I don't know who you're talking to, Smokey, but have some respect, mate. Yeah, so I mean, I'm over the moon. Obviously, in Milan. If anyone wants to know what Milan have done this summer, so far, this is who they brought in. It looks like they brought in. Now it says a Kanji, but I don't know if he has actually signed yet. There is umming and ahhings over that. But they brought in Stankovic, who from Club Brugge for around 23 million, and they are currently. I know Stones has now arrived there to do his contract signing. He's getting €4 million a season and a 2-year deal. They have sold obviously Dumfries. They've sold VERGE, or they've got rid of him. So they have got rid of a few players. So Inter Milan, I'm expecting a real good workout, which will be very late. I think it's 12:30 Saturday. So I'm hoping.
Is that going to be on ESPN or is that going to be on?
No, it's only on City.
Oh,
City TV, which is $9.99. It's only got a cup, sorry.
Have you seen Martin? There's talking about Rodri from the Valleys. The latest gossip in Madrid is a Rodri for Rodri swap. Rodrigo for Rodrigo. Madrid have apparently suggested.
Yeah, cushion off Mikadu. Listen, I'm excited for it. I mean, they're going to play Inter Milan, then they play A-League Superstars, or the K-League Superstars, and then All-Stars, and then they finish it up with Atletico Madrid.
I got a better deal for you, Rich. I'll take Vinny if they want to do a swap deal.
Yeah, just to annoy Arsenal. I did say that yesterday. We should, even if we're not interested, we should make a bid of like 70 million for Vinny, just to mess with Arsenal and put a bit of pressure back on Madrid.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the socks, the bright yellow. But I mean, is anyone excited that football's back now?
Me, 100%. I can't paint anymore. Told you, no more painting.
I'm waiting for August the 24th.
Can I ask you a question? Are you actually a City fan, or are you just rage baiting constantly? Because you never say anything good about the club, mate. You come in every show and everything's negative. You ever say out positive, mate? Come on. I'm sure you're just rage baiting everyone. I mean, for me, I'm more interested in the tactics we're going to play more than I am the actual who's going to play. Because I'm really intrigued how we set up.
That's what I mean. That's what I think it's more about than anything. Like, there's a chance we're probably not going to go the way we want it to go. We might get battered in some of these games, but I just want to see how we're going to play. Because that's going to be the main thing from it more than anything.
Because just for me, I think it'll help with all these debates moving forward. You know, doing this, play him there, him as an 8, him as a 6. We don't even know how he's going to set up. He may set up with a double pivot and 2 10s.
I just think, though, some people will lose their mind, though, because of the players he's playing. And they'll think in their head, that's the way we're going to play this season. And they'll go, right, that's it, season's over. It's like, no, it's not. Calm.
Yeah, but Pep didn't even do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, Pep wouldn't exactly set up the way he was going to set up for the league in a pre-season, you know, because of the players he's got at his disposal. So
it wasn't like the last pre-season or pre-season before. Pep just took all the kids, didn't he? He took, I mean, like Calvin Phillips, Grealish, and all the kids for the rest of them because no one else was there. It was the last one or one before, wasn't it?
One before.
It was in America. It was in America and he just took all the kids. It's when Nico Riley literally got his first taste in the pre-season. And he took them out, and then we kept getting like weather delays and things during that pre-season. And he just literally took all the kids.
Yeah. So all the pre-seasons are on the website and the app only £9.99. I'll tell you now whether it's a lunchtime. Is it a lunchtime kickoff?
I thought it was 12:30.
I think it's a morning one.
Is it a morning one?
So it's a morning. It clashes with SummerSlam on Saturday for me, which is not good. Thanks very much.
Let's have a look. So when is it? So it's 12:30 p.m. Oh, that's all right then. It's in the daytime. We can do a watch along. Yeah, so they are the daytime.
Are they?
Is it daytime? It just says 12:30, but now some are saying it's for us. It's on. Can anyone tell me? Is it daytime or is it midnight?
Daytime. No, it's daytime.
It'll be daytime in the UK because it's going to be a nighttime kickoff in Hong Kong, surely, just for the weather. So you'd think it'd be about mid-afternoon in the UK.
See, some are saying 12 at night.
No, that would be 7 a.m. kickoff in Hong Kong. So it's not going to be 12 at night.
Right,
they're not playing a 7 a.m. match.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, Hong Kong's 6 or 7 hours ahead of the UK, and they don't tend to play till late because it's so hot. So
now I know why Spice is upset because Foden got the biggest chair. He's upset about that. I'm a witch. I mean, the K-Stars one, I'm not, we'll see what it is, but I'm really looking forward to the INTERMILAN, the Atletico Madrid one I'm even looking forward to. And then obviously we've got the open training session on Thursday the 13th, and then we land into the Community Shield, which I'm really looking forward to. There are still tickets available for the Community Shield, both from City and Arsenal. Arsenal are telling everyone it's too far to travel now because it's in Wales.
Is there any seasonal hospitality available for that Cardiff one, Martin? Just by any chance? The same as the.
I got told they've
Old
always
Trafford
done that. I've been told that's always happened.
All right.
You've just never been invited before, Martin. You're more exclusive now. You've obviously gone up there tiers.
I'd never pay with 950 quid. Yeah, there's 3,500 roughly. So it is. I mean, I think City. I think City should have done better than that. £9.99 a month. I think they should have done it for free. So, what's everyone excited about for pre-season? Come on, someone's got to be excited. You all look like you're bored shitless.
The most exciting thing about pre-season will be how the hell Arsenal are going to play when most of their main tactics and goals came from stuff that, according to the changes in the rules for Premier League next season, will be illegal. So, I'm excited to see, do Arsenal have to change completely the way they play? And is that going to completely muck up their whole team?
All right, well, let's have a look at this then. The window's dead now. Let's say the window closes as of now. Who would you say your top 4 in the Premier League are right now?
We'd win the league by 10 points if it closed today.
It closes right now. Al Arsenal bought is their winger from Club Brugge.
We win the league by 10 points.
Bought anyone.
We win the league by 10 points. Arsenal and Liverpool struggle to get top 4.
Right. I'm asking this for a reason. Play along with me. Ozza, window closes now where City finishing and everyone else.
If you're on about closes now, and you're telling me like RODRI can't leave and that's it.
Yes, exactly. Today.
Yeah, so I would go, we win the league. I think it'd be close. I think it's closer than Rich is making out, because I think
maybe 9
still
points.
Yeah, maybe 9 points, Rich. But I think it'd be a close run league. I think it would be a really close run league. I think for like 3rd and 4th, I think at the moment Liverpool would be looking to get in the top 7 with their squad currently. So yeah, I mean, I don't fancy Liverpool making the top 4 at all. United seem to have bought some all right players. No one's blowing my socks off. They've currently brought in, and it'd be interesting to see how they kind of manage 3 games a week going forward into the season. I think that's where Carrick might fall down. Chelsea, it's going to be interesting to see what Alonso does, because I think he's a good manager. I think he's brought in some experience, which I think will help that Chelsea team, and they've got a core of young players that I think that have aged again, and they could probably do a job. I think Chelsea are kind of ones I'd be watching this season. And then
I think they've got a better squad than Bayer Leverkusen had. So if he can get out, he can get out of them what he managed to do at Bayer Leverkusen, they're a team that worry me more actually than Arsenal at the moment. Arsenal signed Bruno G and a few others, and a big winger and stuff. That changes obviously.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rich. Yeah. I think Chelsea are definitely a team to watch. Again, they could be the slightly dark horses in some respects compared to where they've finished over the last few seasons. Yeah. I would say there's more of a chance of them, challenging for that 3rd and 2nd place.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure they're there to win the league, but yeah, I think they're in more of a shot to get into
1 game a week though for Chelsea. We saw that. Thing, I mean, United played 1 game a week last season, and they went from a relegation team to 3rd. So if Chelsea are way ahead of where United were a year ago, so with that 1 game a week effect, that really gives Alonso the chance to work with them tactically and change them. So I think we should be a little bit worried about Chelsea.
Yeah, BB, I'll tell you this: the stuff we've heard about Maresca, the players are loving him, mate. Maresca's got a real respect around the dressing room at the minute. There's a real good atmosphere around Maresca at the minute. They're buzzing. If you let the journals are saying he's made them buzzing for him, mate.
He's a very charming man, though, isn't he? I mean, he's a very
not Pellegrini,
kind of charismatic. No, but he's like Pellegrini with charisma. He's a lot more charismatic than Pellegrini, but he obviously has a real ease. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see what he's like when he's fired up and angry. Just
4 minute ball with a £2. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Really, thank you. Danny, if we're finished now, where are you saying we finished? There's a reason I'm going to come to this in a minute when you're all, I'd just say.
I think we would win it. To be honest, though, I've got a weird feeling about this season. I think someone might potentially win it. No one expects to win it. I just think there's too many teams in transition. Honestly, I was speaking to my friend at the exact same conversation the other day, and I said it won't surprise me with a team. Someone, I'm not saying they will. Someone like a Villa, no one expects it.
I thought you were going to say
just come out of the blue. I'm not that bad.
Do you think Chelsea would count as that? Someone no one expects Chelsea come from what, 9th? New manager.
Even Chelsea fans don't expect them to win the league, Rich.
Yeah, I think Chelsea would be a real outsider bet. They've actually got a lot of very good players, so maybe it's not a big surprise because they have got the first ever midfield with 3 £100 million players in it.
There are 9 new
managers. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was going to make. It's just there's so many new managers, so many teams in transition. It's just got the makings of a weird season. Don't know why. Just got a feeling.
What the weirdest club to me at the minute is Liverpool. Like Iraola, I think he could potentially be a very interesting manager. Could possibly do something like Klopp was in his younger days or something. But they have no defence, no right back, nothing in centre midfield. So they've got glaring squad gaps. And I'm amazed they haven't spent 200-300 million on kind of central defensive midfield players. But they seem to be all out for Barcola when they've got all the talent in I know Ekitike's out, but they've got all the talent in the world and young players up front. And it's glaringly obvious that Van Dijk's, moving on, Konate going. It's very obvious they've got massive problems at the back and they're not doing anything. And with their intensity of Iraola football, they need young, fast, fit players. And I look at it and I see a sluggish midfield, sluggish centre-backs, no right-back, and I don't know what Liverpool are playing at. But long may it continue. Well, if he's given the support of the squad he's got today, you might well be right, because they're toast.
Hang on, I've got an announcement. There's 350 people watching this live. There's another 300 watching it on Twitter. We have 131 likes. Come on, guys. You can do a bit better than that. We should be hitting 200 likes. Nearly 400 of you watching. Come on, smash that thumbs up. Aussie's on. Danny's making his debut on Thursday Night Chat. And we've also got some breaking news for you in a bit. Come on. And Rich is here just being Rich.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, the reason there's a black square next to you, mate, is because you're commenting on X. It's not a black square, it's the X symbol for Twitter. Spartacus, where are we finishing right now if we finish? If we stop right now and we get going, where are we finishing? I quite agree with you.
I think he's got in the car.
Yeah.
Quite agree with you. Ed?
I think he's... Yeah.
Ed, are you there?
I'll say before I get... I would say I'll say first. If the transfer window closed right now, I'll say first. Arsenal second. Third, I'll probably say... third, I'll say Villa. And fourth, I'll say Chelsea.
Okay. Right. So if so everyone's predicted we can finish first right now.
Give me one second. I'm trying to make your phone again.
Why is everyone having a fucking meltdown now?
Well, you calling us out having a meltdown?
No, that's just in general. I'm asking why is there the meltdown? In general. Because
So wait.
we can't be that bad. Our squad can't be that bad.
It's not.
No one said it was.
No, I know. I'm trying to.
Right, and it's the world of meltdowns we live in nowadays. If you don't have a meltdown at least once a day, you're not living.
Because I agree. I don't think Arsenal have been out special. Don't think Liverpool have done anything. They bought a backup winger, and they bought a defender, which they agreed last summer.
Kimmy?
Yes,
Hear
can
me
hear you
now?
now. But you're a bit glitchy.
Okay, good. So we're keeping Rodri, right, for this hypothetical?
No, if it closes right now, yeah.
Okay, so Centurions.
Okay. Right. Say we lose Rodri.
I don't think the league is
Rodri will
strong
go.
at all.
Are we saying we can never win the league again then? If
Top
Rodri
four
leaves?
face.
So
Top
if
four
Rodri
race.
leaves, everyone's telling me a top 4 race then. So City will never win the league ever again then.
No, I think if we get the right signings on, like Adam Watson, a Kimmich, some player that can dictate the tempo of the game. Pablo Barrios, like there are a lot of those on the market. I think then we're going to contend for the league again. But I think if we go on with a midfield of BOUADDI and Anderson, we're going to lack a lot of those qualities of just controlling the ball whenever we need to. And I think if you're not able to control the ball at all, then you don't win the game. You don't win the league.
But, yeah, but I don't know. I don't think Arsenal ever controlled the ball like that, though. So
didn't we finish second?
But then they had.
But with Rodri not being Rodri,
I think only Rodri's given that control in Premier League football in recent years. Everyone else has competed without it. So I don't think it precludes us from winning the league because I don't think anyone else has.
We finished runners up last year without Rodri the majority of the season.
Yeah. And
they played a lot right last season.
Yeah.
I'm just this is what I'm. This is my whole point. I'm not saying, by the way, we will win the league or finish, but I still think we've got a nucleus of a fucking good squad.
Yeah,
I think
I'm very scared.
I think we have the best defense in the whole of the league combined. When you look at Kushinov, Gavardio, Diaz, and Mark Gay, all internationals, a really good balance of age and abilities between them all. We've got Nico Riley, who was the best left back in the league. Midfield is the area which I agree, but I think Anderson and BOUADDI, and if we had one more, will be very good. I still think we've got the best striker in the world. And Doku was coming on great guns, and Semenyo bagged nearly 30 G&A last season. And Foden looks like he's back on it. And you've got Ryan Cherky as well, who's a great player.
Yeah, but I think you need the ability to have the ball. And I think if you don't have a midfielder who can dictate tempo and guide the game to play wherever we need it to be.
I don't know how we're going to play. That's why I'm intrigued in these friendlies, mate.
Can I just ask, though, can people go back to a part of last season? And I read it in this chat an awful lot. There was this point in that season, last season, where people were going, we don't need Rodri, we've got Nico Gonzalez. He was playing that well.
Yeah, but that's...
People told me Nico G was better than Rodri last season in this chat.
People were saying bench Rodri when he's fit.
What's happening with Governor? Has Governor been abducted by aliens? Oh no, he's back.
Look like it.
Yeah, if anybody really believes that we played better with Nico G than Rodri, then yeah, maybe.
No,
well, there was a hell of a lot of people doing it last season. People were saying when Rodri's fit, bench him and play Nico Gonzalez.
I think we played
the
different.
Same people usually were trying to get rid of that, which is not a smart idea, is it?
I think what it is, Rodri is everyone's safety blanket.
You just made my own point, BB. You've been crying for an hour about Rodri being that important, and you just said Nico G was playing better than Rodri last season. So you kind of just contradicted yourself, BB.
Rodri is everyone's safety blanket. That's what it is. He's everyone's safety blanket. He is that good, but guess what? He's going. He's going.
So why did we finish second last season?
We didn't play last season without Rodri Martin.
We got more points per game in the first half of the season. Last season, Spartacus, we got more points per game without Rodri than when he played.
But we did not
points
play
in the first half of the season.
You can't tell
Have we
me
not talked about Rodri yet?
No, what I'm saying is Rodri was not Rodri this season.
I'm joking.
I would go as far to say that stinker that Nico Gonzalez had against Everton was because he got dropped when Rodri came back. If we'd have carried on playing him, that wouldn't have happened. But as soon as Rodri got fit, he was already
dropping stinkers at the end of that run that he started.
No. Hang on. I'm not doing this to have a go at players. I'm doing this for the whole point to explain our squad. All right, first 11 is not as bad as anyone people are proclaiming it to be.
Right now, it isn't. I absolutely agree.
Yeah. No, the point. I'm trying to make the point is, but there's options there. There's options there. If people,
you're adding Anderson, you're adding Elliot Anderson and BOUADDI. And everyone keeps telling me BOUADDI's too young, but these are the same people, and Andrew will tell you this, who were twerking out for João Neves at 18. We didn't know João Neves was going to be able to do it, and look at him at 18. So why can't BOUADDI do it at 18?
He could come in and hit the ground running. You don't know him. He could come in, hit the ground running and go, Jesus, here we go. Now we're off. You don't know, do you? It could be an absolute disaster. But guess what?
It's not about the player. It's not about the player. It's about the profile. It's about the profile. Like the profile of player that he is the type of player who is very similar to Elliot Anderson. And if you have a midfield two of very similar players who are both ball carriers or both dictators, then you're gonna lack on the other side of the coin. So you need to have a player who's a very good dictator who can get the ball, switch the play, get the ball where it needs to be, control it with respect to goal, move it around, and just control the rhythm of the game. And you have to have a player who's able to read some grass and get in tackles and do all of those dirty works. But if you have two players that are more on the dirty work side, ball carriers, then you're going to be lacking on the other side. And that's something that's very clear. I think if you have BOUADDI plus RODRI or BOUADDI plus Anderson, BOUADDI plus RODRI or RODRI plus Anderson, that's a perfect midfield too, for both of them. Because then you have the legs and you have the player who's able to switch the play and be more cute with the ball. If you have both of those, then you get into a situation where you just have runners in the midfield. And
yeah, I think that's why I think Nico G will start against Bournemouth. I don't think there's any.
You don't think Anderson will?
No, I think Anderson will with Nico G.
Well, but like Anderson, Jeremy, Anderson won't cook straight away. No one knows, and BOUADDI is a kid.
They might cook straight away. Nobody knows that.
I don't know if
I've got him yet.
Look good in the World Cup.
Generous to say that they want. But I think it was very good at the World Cup. But we've seen with England where the shortcomings are with having a double pivot of two players who are mostly off the ball monsters in Anderson and Rice. I think England lacked the ability to control the game.
People don't rate. Some people don't rate Maresca and they don't rate Anderson.
I think one of the problems, Spark can say with England with the World Cup. Rice was a third of what he should be as a footballer at World Cup. Rice got run into the ground by Arteta, and Rice was a shadow at the World Cup. I thought he was probably England's biggest disappointment. I don't blame Rice for it. I don't think it was a loss of form. I just think he was running on one leg, and he just looked absolutely ruined, a bit like Saka. You know, he's been overplayed. So if Rice had been at his early season form for Arsenal, I think it would have been a very different World Cup, and him and Elliott would have been able to play a different way. And I think that's one of the challenges.
Even a perfectly fit Rice doesn't do the dictating part, the passing aspects of the game, because he's not that type of player. Like you can't expect him to do something that he isn't.
But I don't see any team in the Premier League, apart from City, who have really had a player who dictates the game. I think
I
don't think Klopp's Liverpool ever had that. They played a different way.
They had it with Thiago when they won the league.
He played not that many games though, Thiago. And usually the ball was being booted over Thiago's head by Van Dijk anyway.
Listen, Rich, I'm going to say it as everyone won't say it, because you know me, I'll say the truth. People don't like the truth. That's why some don't like me. People are scared of not winning. People are scared.
That's the generational fan, Martin.
Supporting Manchester City where we don't win. That is the fear of this.
That's not us. It's the generational fan.
No. I'm not saying they're wrong, Governor, but this is what it's all about. People are very scared of not winning a league or not winning cups or not winning Champions Leagues and whatever. We didn't win the Champions League every year with Pep. This is what I mean. This is why I said we're about to find out who are the fans of Manchester City and who were the Pep Guardiola fans. Because there are a separation in this. And that's great. That's the thing with Anderson, because he's English from Nottingham Forest, he's not got a sexy name behind him. BOUADDI's now too. People were excited. I went on a show with Daps on South Stand about a month and a half ago, and we were a bit unsure on BOUADDI. We were like, not sure he's the money. And the whole chat, some people in here who are not being honest right now in the chat, told us BOUADDI was going to be an amazing player and an amazing signing. And now it's happening. They've now swapped because they want to be a bit negative. Just be honest. We're not going to win every single year, and that's okay. But we're going to challenge. Oh, the breaking news. I'll tell you in a bit. Yeah, Slot won it in his first season and then got sacked in his second. I don't want that either, formidable. I'd rather build slowly than win. Slot won because of the Klopp system. He didn't play his system, he played Klopp's. And then when he bought his players and went to them, it died. And he got sacked. Can we win the Champions League? I think anyone can, because I think Champions League's a little bit of luck as well. But yeah,
I think if Rodri goes to trade,
because I don't think there's much more to go through. Poonet has become a brand new YouTube member. You, sir, are a superstar. Thank you. Has anything want to add anything or say anything or ask anything before we wrap up?
I guess we're Rodri FC now.
I've got something, and this will play with your mind a bit, but go and do it. That picture that Fabrizio's sharing of BOUADDI, go and look at it and tell me it doesn't look like a young Vinny Company with hair. You won't be able to unsee it now, I've told you.
Actually, now.
I remember when we bought Vinny Company. Does anyone remember where Vinny Company was playing when we bought him?
Midfield for Hamburg.
Yeah. Exactly. He was a fucking CDM. He wasn't even a centre-back.
Yeah.
Listen, I might be in the minority, but I'm buzzing for this season. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's the unknown.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I'm ready for it. I love it.
Even Pep said it gone a bit stale.
It's certainly going to be freshened up. Can't get more fresher than a new manager.
Oh, right. The people asking me about the breaking news. Yes, I did mention it, but we are currently in about 3 or 4 weeks we're going to launch a Mancunian Way website where you're going to be able to get all your links for Aussie's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube shows, the breaking news, rumors, all sorts of things. The person who's doing it, I've got to speak, would like a community section as well on there so we can interact with people. We're also going to launch like we did a predictions league for us lot, which we'll do again. We're also going to do a prediction league for the community, which you can all join in with.
That's the one.
Which I think will be very good as well.
That'll be a
so you can
I'd like to see Vinny with a syrup now.
And people are going to fight each other over it. And and then we'll give away a prize at the end. What that prize will be, I don't know. We'll sort that out, but it'll be a decent one. So yeah,
Canitizer and a curly whirly. You're half time.
Some massive things happening. Ozzy's going to do us. I'm going to ask Ozzy to do us some lovely some lovely things of us all to put on the websites. Pictures of us.
Martin, if I win, do you send prizes overseas?
It depends what it is, because we can't always send it. Depends how much it is and what it is.
The problem is, Governor, if it's a curly whirly, by the time it gets to you, mate, it may be like...
Yeah, we are a day. It doesn't have a disability.
If you win, Rich can take you out.
Let's not say Donnarumma has a disability, because...
I was going to say, did I read that right then? What?
I would love that. I would love that.
Go, Rich. You got a date.
And we've got to when
we'll have to do some on Blues.
We'll have an.
We'll have to do some on Blues Down Under.
Yeah, get together.
Oh, we might have a new person coming to join you on Blues Down Under. Someone's moving over to Perth and they want to join in the show.
Excellent.
So yeah,
I was hoping it'd be Johnny Stones, moving down to, play his trade.
We might have a problem with the time though, because Perth are 2 hours difference to us.
Yeah.
Well, you're all a bit weird.
One second.
Well, we'll have to work it around him, whoever it is.
Ozzy did a brilliant show with Tone earlier on. Transfer Buzz. It was a good show. I'd say go and watch it, but you can't.
Yeah, slight issue. Didn't say
that last comment you put on there, Mark. That's what people's biggest fears are there. He's put too many unknowns. That's what people are scared of. The unknown unsettles people.
Yeah,
embrace it.
Yeah, that's the exciting part.
Exactly, embrace it.
See, they're not all like Ozzy and Spartacus. Pep Guardiola became manager and they jumped on the bandwagon. So now that.
Danny, you know what they're scared of? Let's be honest. They're scared of this new website because it's going to introduce Martin's OnlyFans.
Oh wow.
Bucky Melly's not going to introduce my OnlyFans.
I tell you what, you should see Martin in a Spider-Man suit sweeping around the ceiling of his.
Right, this is all because I'm going to watching the new Spider-Man on Friday and Saturday.
I was going to say, if you put that out tomorrow, you'll get a lot of hits on that, with the theme and everything. Spider-Man, come on.
I'm also wanting to watch SummerSlam as well. So yeah.
In your Spider-Man outfit, yeah.
Oh, that's my fantasy on a
Saturday. It's only fans slam Spider-Man slam. It's gold, worth the £1,500 for an hour you pay, every bit of it.
I'm doing that note. I might be a cheeky bastard. Listen, when I've lost all this weight and I'm like, loving it, you'll all be jealous.
Look at that weather. The Sunshine Coast. The best thing about that is the middle of winter. It's the coldest time of the year, and there's Governor in his t-shirt in the sun with the palm trees behind him.
I think we'll leave it there. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got another great show for you, and I've lost the fucking. There it is. Lunch in the City tomorrow at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. tomorrow. Me, Tone, and Pulper. And maybe Ozzy, if he's available, and whoever else wants to jump on, we'll do a show at 1 p.m. So yeah, and we are in the process of trying to organise a great interview with a journalist that we'll announce tomorrow as well. So you can get your questions in, because if we do get this to happen, it will be 60 minutes maximum. We are literally have 60 minutes. So we're going to do pre-selected questions. Because if we do the chat, we'll be here for 2 hours. So yeah, loads and loads of things. Don't worry, Ozzy, mate. We'll probably have another Joker outfit on. Jesus Christ, no, I won't.
Oh no.
Great stream, hit the likes. Thank you very much. Right, Ozzy, thank you for joining us, mate. Great show today. Shame you didn't save it, you dick.
Yeah, I know. But listen, we are going to be doing another transfer buzz on Tuesday. Me and Tone, and maybe Martin, if he's able to join. Anybody else who fancies it, let us know. And yeah, thanks to everyone who did watch. It was a good show, I think. So yeah, we'll see you on Tuesday.
Rich.
Nothing, I guess.
Up the Blues.
Danny, thank you for joining us, mate. Great debut on Thursday Night Chat.
No worries. Thanks for having me. I was waiting for the Foden section. I thought it was going to be a Foden section. I was looking forward to a bit of Foden glazing.
No, I can't. We can't do Foden on here. We get called with glazing. So
oh, I can. I can. And listen, if I'm coming on here, I can and I will chat. So just be prepared.
Yeah. Danny, wait to see what Phil. Wait to see how Phil comes back next season. He's got Haaland's management team now, and they're trying to change his lifestyle so that he gets to focus on football like Haaland does. And I think we might see some massive things from Phil back to his best this season.
It will be his season.
When he's got the freedom for his head to be right and focus, on getting back.
And there's Spicer.
It'll be
Thank
amazing.
God for that, because he is a Foden hater at the moment. He's Spicer.
Well, spicy potatoes, they're about to get boiled in a pan of hot water, and you're going to eat some humble pie, my friend.
No, he didn't get banned, mate. I don't know. He didn't get banned. Did Ozzy have a bozo moment?
With some mushy peas and gravy poured over as well.
Oh, it sounds lovely, that. Beautiful.
Nice.
He'll be on the bench. Wow. It's funny that, isn't it?
Just wait and see. Just wait and see.
Foden.
RODRI.
The same.
I can't see the chat.
Yeah. That'll be the start of the season. Foden will start because he's going to be fit. He's going to have done pre-season. And Cherky will be back late and everything. And there's going to be Foden-Cherky war among the fan base because Cherky doesn't play for the first 5 or 6 games.
If people know Phil, and I mean, like, really know him and watched him that much, you watch them videos that City have been putting on him, you can see in him smiling all the time. He's happy in himself. He's enjoying what he's doing. And when he's like that, he's dangerous. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I'll tell you the other thing is what he looks fitter.
I mean, it looks fresh. It looks really fresh.
Cherky won't start
really
the season. Cherky won't even. He's not even going to have a proper pre-season, so Foden will start ahead of him.
To be fair, another player that looked very happy was Savio for somebody that wants to leave in it.
It's amazing how people just give up on Foden so easily. Well, that's Cade for you, and Spicy Potatoes and others. They just give up on him. It is what it is.
So we're selling Foden now. Thank you for having me.
No, all good. Right, this is going to take you over to Tariq, who is currently live. I think he's doing some interview with a NFL person or something. So go and show Tariq a lot of love. But anyway, thank you all. You are legends. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Blues Brothers will be out on Saturday. Another one, and then we'll have another one out on Monday. So loads of things, and that is a great thing. Haaland and Foden did a really good interview. Yes, go and watch that. High Performance YouTube, an excellent watch that. Really, really good as well. Cade spitting facts. What, that you hate Foden? We know you both hate Foden. Anyway, take care. And as always, up the Blues. We'll see you all tomorrow. City are back.
Can't wait.
At last,
Let's go.
football is back. See ya.